Hello, everyone. This is Joe Pantozzi with Alpha Mega Wealth, and I'm here with my teammate, Chrissy Stevens, and we're here to talk about Life Insurance Awareness Month. So I always find it kind of interesting that they should pick out a month to bring something to the awareness of people that they should probably just get used to and take care of it 365, 24/7, and not have to make it a big thing. So we shouldn't have to make it a big effort and try to drum up support, right? For something that people maybe should think about doing as a part of being a responsible citizen, as part of being a responsible adult, responsible business owner, responsible parent, and or family member, and that is owning life insurance. And I believe that 99% of the problem is completely on the industry. I think that we have done a terrible job allowing people to be comfortable with the idea that a life insurance policy is for the living, or a portfolio of policies is for the living. And if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't own several dozen policies that insure myself and my business partners, several of them, and my key employees in my company, and my spouse, and my kids, and my grandkids. So we believe that a life insurance policy does so many things for a person over their lifetime that it should be something that you actually put in a child from the time that they're 14 days old, which for our primary companies, you can actually put a life insurance policy on a kid when they're 14 days old. So if you know the crux, the fundamentals of a life insurance policy, it's always been equated for me with owning a house. So you could rent an apartment and you can pay rent for 50 years. And when you leave the apartment, they say goodbye and nice knowing you, and thanks for not having your checks bounce. But that's pretty much all you get. But if you own a home, you have the pride of ownership, and you also have the dollar value of appreciation that you get in a policy. So a life insurance policy will grow with you over time. You'll develop cash values that you can use over your lifetime through different means. We're not here to talk about the different means and the process and the mechanics. We're just talking about life insurance. Now, one thing that has always kind of bugged me is that I might come across somebody who's got just a huge savings account, right? Let's just call $100,000 a lot of money in a savings account. And I'll say, and I'll make the subject the gentleman. And I'll say, listen, if you had $100,000 in your savings account and you had a really bad day, the worst day of your life, in other words, you're not here anymore, is it okay that your wife receives that savings account? And he says to me, kind of scratching his head, well, of course. I mean, who else would get it? Yeah, your wife would get your savings account. Now, take the $100,000 away. What if you only have $10 in the savings account? She's still gonna get it, right? What if you had $1 million? You just finished winning your state's lottery. It was a really tiny lottery. You only won $1 million. Would your wife get that? Well, yeah, she gets everything that I have. I have a stamp collection. I have a baseball collection. I have tools. I have a camera. I have 90 pairs of shoes. Whatever I have is what she gets, right? My 401k. Well, think about this. A life insurance policy is the most important thing. It is a love letter to your family. And this love letter says, I'm setting up this policy because I may not have been able to save all the money that I wanted to save to take us into retirement, to maybe give the kids gifts, maybe give the grandkids gifts for college. I may not have been able to save all the money that I could in my 401k, or maybe I made a few bad investments based on bad advice or my buddies who got into the stock market and told me this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I put $5,000 into it and lost it. I may have not made the best financial decisions, but honey, I left this $1 million life insurance policy for you. And what it represents, not only the fact that I worship the ground you walk on, but this represents the money that I would have saved if I had gotten around to it. And it's not all the money in the world, because it's only going to give you kind of a roof over your head and the safety net under you. And it's going to see to it that you don't starve and that you have the fundamental things that you need for your lifetime. And so when you think about it, all life insurance policy is the savings account that you planned on building up, but didn't. So if you had $1 million in a savings account, you'd want your wife to have it. You'd want your spouse to have it. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't have that $1 million in the savings account, this life insurance policy substitutes for that savings account. And it's the same thing. It's the money that you intended to have. It's creating an instant estate at the very fundamental level. That's all a life insurance policy does. It creates the estate that you haven't had the time or the ability to create yet. So I don't know if that helps people. I don't know if that challenges you, but a life insurance policy is not a snake. It's not going to bite you. You can control it. You can find somebody that you trust and find someone who speaks English as far as life insurance is concerned, or speaks in a language that's communicated easily so that you could understand the basics of it, right? There are a lot of great components and benefits and features about a life insurance policy, but the most fundamental thing is it protects your family if something happens to you. Now, does it have additional benefits? Sure. When you build up values in your policy, the values in that policy could be far and away greater than anything else you've ever built up, possibly. It's going to be immune from creditors in a lot of states. Your creditors can't even get to that money. It's going to be free of tax. It's going to be tax invisible. It's never going to go backwards. It's always going to grow up. And it's going to be not correlated to what the stock market does. So there's a lot of great things. It's going to be an instant, standalone estate plan that goes directly to your beneficiary, even if you don't have a will. It's going to be a kind of a standalone, self-encapsulated estate plan. So there are very many things that you should know, more things than this, that you should know about a life insurance policy. But the very fundamental thing is, can I qualify? Can I coordinate the policy with my budget? And maybe level 2 is, what else can I do with this thing? Why are Joe's clients who are business owners buying these bigger policies, and they seem to be more intimately involved in the operation of the business and creating wealth and creating leverage and creating safety and creating security and guarantees? Those are all kind of next level stuff. But the most fundamental thing is, on behalf of Life Insurance Awareness Month, is let's help you get some awareness of what life insurance is and what it isn't. It's not the boogeyman. It's not an alien. It's not going to come out of the sky and bite you. There's not going to be a hit on your life because you own life insurance. It's not a bad luck charm. It's something that helps you secure your family, your family's future. And also, I think, like I said, is probably one of the greatest elements of a love letter that you can leave for your family.